Hey guys, it's Jill here, and this week in our educational video, I'm going to be talking about something that's very simple, but I want you guys to start thinking about, and that is how many times per day that you're going to eat. And so I know that we've heard all sorts of things. We've heard anywhere from, every 2 hours, 6 or 7 times a day, up to, maybe once or twice a day if you're doing something like intermittent fasting. So what I want you to think about is thinking about, for you, what's kind of the easiest way to figure this out, and how many times a day will you eat, and what's best with your lifestyle, what works with your schedule, and what gets you results. So for me, I used to eat 6 times a day when I was doing my show, and Jillian, when she's getting ready, will eat 6 or even up to 8 times a day when she's prepping for a show. However, over time, I kind of figured out, with the fact that I don't really like to cook, and that I, like to wait until later in the morning to eat, and I have a bigger appetite, that I actually went to 4 meals a day. So I kind of bumped it down, and eventually got to the point where 4 meals felt really easy for me and also got me results. So I actually don't eat until 10 a.m. and then I finish every night by 8 p.m. So I do a 14-hour fast every night. So when you think about how many times you eat, it's going to also depend on how long you go without food in the evening. So I know there's a lot of going on about intermittent fasting right now, and all these different fasting protocols, and we can get into that if you guys are interested. But I want you to first think about, for you, what is the kind of thing that really helps you in your schedule, with your lifestyle, and what you like to do. So is it 5 meals a day? That might look like something like 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., and maybe just having something a little bit smaller, like, maybe mid-afternoon is just a bar, maybe in the morning is a piece of fruit and some nuts. So you have these options. However, the thing I want you to keep in mind is the less you eat, the more chances there are going to be for you to overeat, because you haven't been eating. So if you eat twice a day, those meals might tend to be a lot larger. And so you still need to think about kind of reining in some of the hunger and cravings, and maybe some of the compensatory reactions that might happen if you go too long without eating. So you need to weigh a couple things: your hunger, energy, and cravings, and how long you can comfortably go without eating. And then the second piece is, how big do you want your meals to be? So some people feel full off just, maybe one chicken breast and, a cup of broccoli. For me, that's not enough. I need, a sweet potato, or I need some oats, or I need extra vegetables, I need a side salad, something like that. So kind of weigh it against, how big do your meals want to be, and how can you maintain your hunger and cravings at a low level, so that you don't have those, compensatory reactions and end up eating more later in the day and at bigger meals at night. So you can eat as many or as few times a day as you like. It depends on your schedule, how many meals you want to cook. A lot of times people think that, from a psychological perspective, eating less frequently is beneficial, because you just don't have to think about as many meals. So I talked to a trainer a couple weeks ago, and he said, when my clients aren't adhering to my program, I cut back the amount of meals that they have, so they don't have to think about food as much. This may or may not work for you. So 6 times, 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, even 2 times a day. What's best for you? And we can talk about this on the page if you guys have specific questions about this. But I want you to get into thinking about this, because when we launched the 10-week fall program, I'm going to be asking you, depending on how many times a day you're going to eat, that will depend on kind of which meal plan you follow. So hopefully that helps you guys, and we can continue to have this discussion, but I just want to put that out in your ear. If you feel like you're just stuffed, or 5 or 6 meals, just too many meals to worry about, think about maybe cutting down to 4 meals and just seeing how that does. If you find yourself at 3 square meals and you're not seeing changes, you might want to back down the portions at each of those 3 meals, and maybe space it out to 4 or 5 times throughout the day, and just have smaller portions and eat every 3 hours, rather than having 4 to 6 hours in between meals. So once again, this really depends on you, but let's just start having the conversation and kind of, finding what works for you and really tweaking as we go. So hopefully that helps you guys, and I'll see you soon.